This is a request from Quiet Ninja Riot on what if Vegeta spared Nappa. Here, Vegeta instead tells Nappa to summon his attack ball and go heal up while Vegeta deals with Goku. The battle going exactly as usual. The difference here is that Bulma doesn't work on creating a remote for the attack ball, but things are otherwise the same for the Earthlings. Meanwhile, Nappa heals up fully only a short while after Vegeta is put in the medical machine and is informed by Kiwi on Frieza's trip to Namek, being pushed aside when he tries to attack Kiwi in anger. He and Vegeta arrive on Namek together, where Nappa essentially spectates Vegeta's actions until they face Zarbon. Once at a disadvantage, Vegeta uses the power ball for Nappa to become an Ozaru and easily destroy Zarbon. This has them catch on to a fairly high key flying away from them as they chase after and catch Kuririn. Nappa is ready to get some payback for the battle on Earth, but Vegeta judges it as best to form an early alliance against Frieza, when aware of how more knowledgeable the Earthlings are on the Dragon Balls than them, and that they can get rid of them once all 7 are gathered. Kuririn is angry due to Vegeta's attack on Tsuno's village, but relents with Vegeta being the lesser of 2 evils. Nappa and Vegeta are then brought to where Bulma is, while Gohan goes to get his potential unlocked. Her strong will in the face of these 2 Saiyans, having both gain an odd feeling towards her. The Saichoro also unlocks Dende's potential immediately after Gohan's, without Vegeta having put a time limit on things. He and Nappa do still approach the Saichoro when curious on how Gohan became so much stronger, but nail injures both when they try to intimidate this elder, before Dende heals them under the Saichoro's orders, as a veiled threat to not try it a second time. It's by this point that the Ginyu Tokusentai arrive. The battle goes the same until Rikum heavily injures Vegeta due to the orders they were given to bring Vegeta back alive for interrogation on the other Dragon Ball's location. This gives him the opportunity to create a power ball as Ozaru Nappa wipes out Rikum with a Choma Koho before Bata and Jice's teamwork create the opening to get rid of his tail. Jice then prepares to finish him off with a Crusher Ball, but Kuririn sneak attacks him while Gohan saves Nappa. Bata takes his turn to one-shot Kuririn as Rikum would do, while Jice takes his time punishing Gohan and Nappa until Goku arrives. Events proceed as usual, beyond Nappa making a detour to get the Sushinshu until the battle at Frieza's spaceship, where Nappa takes the opportunity to get his revenge on Jice, while Vegeta injures Goku's body. The battle with Ginyu then going the same, and Goku being put in the medical machine, while Kuririn goes to find Dende. Goku is healed as soon as Dende arrives, and Vegeta requests Kuririn go through the same plan with him and Nappa, Dende being just as unwilling to heal them, and Kuririn having to convince them, and saying Gordo would have likely gotten rid of he and Gohan if not for Vegeta. Porunga is then summoned, with Goku's ki forcing Vegeta and Nappa to go with the plan, as Piccolo is revived and brought to Namek just before the Saichoro expires. Vegeta immediately encourages Frieza to transform and is able to easily best him, but gets overconfident enough by the situation and not wanting Frieza to have any more reserves that he lets Frieza go into his true form. Goku then takes the lead once Vegeta is bested, with the major change prior to the Genki Dama launching being Nappa and Vegeta joining Piccolo's attack on Frieza. Frieza launches a barrage death beam after it to strike both these Saiyans and Piccolo simultaneously, and is a fatal blow for the Saiyan duo, before events on Namek go the same as usual, with the exception of Nappa and Vegeta being close enough to witness Super Saiyan Goku, as in anime filler. Vegeta and Nappa spar regularly when returning to Earth, both motivated to surpass the Super Saiyan, being the one to find interest in breeding with Earthlings, and having been touched by Gohan's efforts to save him. Nappa also starts desiring to find a family, and asks Yamcha if many Earthling women are as strong-willed as Bulma. Yamcha then reminisces on lunch, and tells him how she was attracted to Ten Shinhan's ferocity in the past, as well as that she'll probably be wherever Ten Shinhan is. Nappa then going to challenge he and Chaozu to a sparring match where he breaks both of Ten Shinhan's arms and mocks him as not not been someone who can compete with his ferocity, before telling Lunch that Tenshinhan isn't capable of matching the brutality of a Saiyan, but also offers Tenshinhan a senzu for what he says is for Tenshinhan facing the inevitable again. But in reality, is Nappa having started to feel bad for injuring one associated with those he's formed an alliance with. Both the brutality of his fighting style and the charity underneath sway both sides of Lunch into getting interested in him when acknowledging Tenshinhan isn't the ferocious assassin that he tried to be in the past, as she and Nappa get together a few months before Frieza's counterattack. They have a daughter named Echalot. Nappa seeing it as beaten Vegeta to the punch on that child name. She learns from Gohan alongside Trunks and both progress far more than usual, though not by enough they can defeat 17 and 18 in a 2v2 situation. They both go back in time, and the only major change to this is Vegeta and Nappa having already seen how a Super Saiyan looks, making both frustrated at showing up out of nowhere, both achieving Super Saiyan far earlier, though Vegeta still goes his own way during the tail end of the 3 years, whereas Nappa trains alone at home when not wanting to ignore Lunch or Echalot. Events go the same until facing 17 and 18, where the duo are forced to take things seriously, with Vegeta and Trunks being far stronger than usual, as well as the additions of Nappa and Echalot. Still, their infinite energy wins out, and the general flow of events go the same, until turns are taken in the Room of Spirit and Time, where Nappa and Echalot go in after Goku and Gohan come out. Nappa not being the most astute fighter, and his daughter inheriting his brash attitude, has them still only focus on surpassing Super Saiyan and increasing their strength, rather than mastering the first stage. When Cell creates the Cell Juniors, creating 9 has their ki divided more than the normal 7. This allows Vegeta and Trunks to destroy their opponents before going to back up Nappa and Echalot, but it takes up enough ki the duo simply can't do cleanup on the rest. Gohan lets his rage flow as normal, and the difference here is that Echalot is targeted when Cell comes back instead of Trunks, causing Trunks to be filled with enough rage to become a Super Saiyan 2, as he and Nappa rush wildly against Cell, but their teamwork is still nothing to Cell's new power. It's when preparing to finish them off that Vegeta counters with a final flash to change the trajectory of Cell's ki blast before Gohan faces Cell one-on-one. Cell's techniques give him the advantage, but Gohan's rage building up further has him then gain the power advantage, until Cell decides to gamble on if the Genki Dama can be used well. Normally, it would be absolutely useless when not being able to draw on the Genki donated by humans, and drawing on the power of the sun would not be much stronger than that Goku used against Fused 13, but Cell also gambles on using the Genki of those he's absorbed to fuel it, and make it strong enough to challenge Gohan's strongest Kamehameha, before everyone but the heavily injured Nappa and Trunks distract Cell enough for Gohan to power through and destroy Cell. The arc concludes as usual. Trunks and Echalot return to their world, and the closeness they have, along with Echalot thinking pragmatically on the Saiyan blood her father valued, has them settle down and have a child after 17 and 18 are dealt with. A boy I'll call Bloom. Echalot in History 1 growing up alongside Goten and Trunks causes the children to all become far stronger than usual. Enough Goten surpasses Gohan's raw power when they spar, and Trunks proves a challenge to Vegeta. During the junior division, Echalot is still at a disadvantage against Trunks, despite both being near enough even in power, due to Trunks being a smarter fighter, which causes him to win. But the fight wears him down enough for Goten to win the finals. It's when everyone leaves to stop Babidi that Nappa chooses not to, having come to realise he'll never catch up to Vegeta, and instead choosing to try and win the Budokai for his family, defeating 18 after she exposes Mighty Mask, who here is made up of Trunks and Echalot, who was more interested in mischief than Goten, and getting the prize money. Goten goes alone to Babidi's ship after talking to Videl not long after Gohan left, with him joining his father, brother, and Vegeta. He rushes in to help out Gohan against Dabura, but is turned into stone and crushed when fallen to the ground. This being enough for Gohan's rage to reach even greater heights than against Cell, as he gains the power to annihilate Dabura. Vegeta's rant at this being a waste of time is still enough for Babidi to catch on to his evil heart, as Majin Vegeta still happens. Buu is unleashed before Gohan, Piccolo, and Shin can get rid of Babidi, and events go normally until fusion is taught, where Echalot and Trunks are initially taught it, before Goten seeks out everyone's ki at the Shinden. Gotenks then becoming the chosen fusion. Mr. Satan is still sought out to stop Buu, when the military can't find Nappa to help them. The main change going forward is Gotenks being far stronger, leads to the fight with Evil Buu after leaving the Room of Spirit and Time, going quicker as he launches the Kamehameha before Super Saiyan 3 wears off, and is able to completely wipe out Buu with it. When the Dragon Team are discussing how to go about reviving everyone when there are many Earth's Dragon Balls can't revive, Shin orders Kibito to take Gohan to New Namek. When Goku brings it up, Gohan is thoughtful enough to not revive the evil people to have perished over the last year, Vegeta not returning, and accepting Enma's original sentence of his soul being cleansed and reincarnated. A few years later, many of the Dragon Team reunite for the 26th Tenkaichi Budokai, which Gohan easily wins, with Trunks winning the junior division. The loss of his father giving him a far more serious mindset to improve. With how long this has gotten, and how much more there is still to cover. How things go for Super, the end of Z, and GT, we'll have to wait for part 2, so be patient until then.